Hi, this is going to be a short video on conducting a situational analysis. Hopefully, it will help you with your case. A situational analysis is just a snapshot of the current position and health of the firm. Before we can make strategy, we need to know where we are. Sometimes we have to adjust our goals after conducting a situational analysis. To do a situational analysis, we look at both internal and external factors that are relevant to the firm. This is often called the 5 C's analysis. Internal means we're going to look at the company and what's going on inside it. External, we look at other factors that are in the marketing environment. After we conduct a situational analysis, or at least we collect the information, we get that snapshot of where we are, we often use a SWOT analysis to organize that information. And by using the SWOT, it helps us gain some strategic insight to what's going on and also helps suggest strategic alternatives that we may want to consider. So what does the 5 C's stand for? Well, first is the company. That's our internal analysis. Then we look at customers and markets. We look at competitors and industry structure. Collaborators, who usually are our partners or other companies we work with in our supply chain or outside of that. And then context, which is all the other factors, which usually includes mainly the traditional marketing environment. The acronym PESTLE is often used to represent this. The political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental trends that impact the marketer, the market, customers, and competitors. In conducting a company analysis, we look at basically 3 areas. We look at performance. We look at our asset and skills, things that we can use to create competitive advantage in the marketplace. And we look at our behavior. So, performance, we start off with metrics, things that measure how we're doing, financially, marketing. We also look at how we're doing in key market segments, in different strategic business units. We also need to look closely at customer satisfaction, customer retention, or churn. How many customers do we lose? Customer acquisition. How good are we at developing our customers into purchasing more or more often? We also look at our assets and skills, things we either own or control, or things we're able to do that can help create competitive advantage. What's our level of brand loyalty and brand equity with our customers? What type of resources and capital do we have available to us? What do we control in terms of patents or processes or trademarks or copyrights? Do we have any exceptional relationships with other firms that can help us gain an advantage in the marketplace? What are our capabilities? What competencies do we have? What can we do better than our competition? What might be holding us back from developing or executing competencies? In other words, what do we have or do that can give us a competitive advantage? We also look at the behavior of our firm. What has been our past strategies? How well have they worked? How well are they working now? How likely are they to work in the future? What are any existing or current strategic problems or issues we're facing? To what degree can we perform the critical success factors that are part of our value chain? Critical success factors are the things that a company has to do to be relatively successful in the market. They're the things that separate top performers from poor performers. To what degree are we a top performer on the success factors that differentiate between success and failure? When we do a customer analysis, we look at individual customers, whether they're consumers or organizations and businesses, and we also look at the market. We want to make sure that the market is defined properly and described. How might it be changing in size? What factors are driving growth or decline? Where is the market in terms of the product life cycle? How are products distributed? What are the distribution systems that competitors are using? What other changes might be occurring in the marketplace in terms of marketing communications, features, and benefits? And then we also look, as I said before, at our customers. Who are the largest groups or segments? What are the most important benefits? What other benefits are they looking for? How is this changing? What are the latest trends? Are there unfulfilled or latent needs in the marketplace? We also want to know why some consumers are dissatisfied. What changes do they want? Why are there people who are organizations that don't buy, non-users? What would it take to convert them? When doing a competitor analysis, we often start with the industry. Porter's 5 forces model is a common tool. We can ask, what's the bargaining power of the customers? What's their ability to drive our prices down? Same for suppliers. What's their ability to make us pay more for the goods and services we need to create our product or service? What's the threat of new companies coming in and creating competition? What are the barriers to entry? In other words, what makes it difficult or not so difficult for them to enter in the market? To what degree are there substitutes products that can be easily used by customers if our prices go up? What are potential switching costs that may prevent or encourage customers to switch if our prices go up? And finally, to what degree is the competition really intense with existing competitors? More intense competition, more price wars, more marketing wars tends to bring down profitability. Also, it's the identification of what are the key critical success factors. What are the activities, the things, the outputs companies must be able to do to be successful? One way to gauge that is to look at what's the difference in outputs and capabilities and competencies between the top performing firms and the bottom performing firms. Those differences are often the critical success factors that drive success in the market. When we look at our actual competitors, we want to identify who they are. Where are they competing? In what market segments with us? Which brands? What's their position in the marketplace? How are they positioning their brands? And then what competitive advantages do they have? In other words, we want to find their strengths and weaknesses, not only in their marketing and their products, but also in terms of their entire corporation, just like we look at our strengths and weaknesses. We also want to make sure we identify direct or substitute competitors who do the same thing that we do, and other competitors that are indirect, maybe compete on providing the same benefits or similar resources. And then we want to gauge their threat to our business. Is it short term? Is it long term? Or is it both? Our last C is context, or climate, as some people call it. Here we look at any potential trends in the traditional marketing environment. What's going on in the political world? Or economic trends, positive or negative? What changes are there in society and culture that may impact our business? What's happening with technology now and down the road? Is it going to be disruptive? Will it create new opportunities? Is it a threat? What laws and regulations may impact us? And finally, the natural environment. How is that changing or impacting our business? So in total, the situational analysis is a snapshot. Not everything that we've talked about is going to be important. But as you look at a company, at a situation, it's important to make sure that you cover all the bases before you try to analyze the information. So this situational analysis is really a step to take a picture, a snapshot, to collect that information about what's going on with the company, so then you can get a better grip on where it's at and where it needs to go.